going on? Sergeant Guys here. Everybody's having a great day, and in today's video we are here with a settings video on Call of Duty Vanguard. And I want to first put out there that the way I play is kind of similar to a very popular playstyle, but I have one big change to it that most people probably don't do. And today we're going to be talking about that on Vanguard here. And this will work on PS5, PS4, and also on Xbox as long as you have custom button assignments, and even PC if they allow you to customize your button assignments as well. This will work on all of these platforms. We today are showcasing this on PS5 because that is what I am using. First off, we're going to get right into the settings. We're going to go over everything here that we have changed, and we are going to skip the things that we haven't changed. We'll mention that we haven't changed it and all that, just so you make sure you're on the right path, just in case your settings are changed differently. So the very first thing that we're going to go over are the controller settings here. And the main thing is the sensitivity. People always ask, what sense do you play on? At first, I was trying out 7.7, but it seemed a little fast, so I bumped it down to 6.6. So we are currently on 6.6, and I put down all of my ADS stuff to 0.80. This is where I have been playing on for the most part, and I actually enjoy it. I've been getting used to it. It's really good for me. I like to play on lower sensitivity, so I'm able to shoot easier at longer ranges. I think the lower the sense you play on, the more accurate you're going to be with some of these things. And then we go down to the button layout preset. We have it on tactical flip. So what this is doing here is if you click square, it shows if you want to have flip on or flip off. You turn this on, you are now going to be shooting with your L1 and R1 instead of L2, R2 bumpers. And this is a lot easier when it comes to aiming down your sights and shooting people. It's going to be quick. Even if it's not noticeable, it is going to be milliseconds quicker with the reaction time that you get into gunfights instead of using the L2 and R2 bumpers. This is a really good setting to have on. I also have tactical on, which we will get into it on the custom button assignments right after this. I have it on tactical flip, so I can slide with X, punch with circle, and jump with R3. So before we go any further, we're going to go ahead, hold the button down, and whether you're on PlayStation 4, PS5, Xbox, whatever, you're going to go over to the settings or however you get to custom button assignments. But on PS5, you're just going to go over to settings, go to accessibility, go down to controllers, and you're going to click right here, custom button assignments. This is very similar as it is on PS4. You go over to settings, accessibilities, and go to custom button assignments. You're going to want to enable this, customize button assignments, and you see that you have some different options here. So what I have right here is button assigned to R3. This is my X button, and we put it to R3. So what this is going to do is a different way of doing stick and move while having tactical on, because obviously you can't put both stick and move and tactical on at the same time in game. People can get confused about that a little bit. So the only difference here is when you do this custom button assignment, when you try to enter, click your class setup or click into a game, instead of clicking X, you're going to be clicking R3. Obviously, that's something you got to get used to. When there's always change, you have to get used to it. So it might take a couple of hours, a couple of days, a week, I'm not sure, but I am so used to it. It's just a habit to click R3 for entering everything now. And this is how I play. And if you're trying to play a different game or you don't like this, all you got to do is come back to this custom button assignments and put it back to the defaults, or just turn off the custom button assignments and then your controller will go back to default. But yes, this is what I have on. R3 and X switched, and that is pretty much stick and move through remapping the controller. Hopefully you're still with me here. Now with all of these settings changed, just a little brief on this. Tactical flip, button assignments through the PlayStation. I jump with R3, I slide with X, I punch with circle, and I shoot with L1 and R1. Those are all my button changes. And I find this to be the easiest and best way to get really good movement like the professionals in Call of Duty without using paddles, back buttons, or scuffs, anything like that. If you don't have the money to blow on a controller that expensive, this is the best settings to use on a default controller, because as you know, I still use a default controller. I like it this way because of the way I play. I also do have a control freak on my aiming stick. This right here helps out my aim and makes me more accurate. It's more comfortable to use as well. So if you don't have control freaks and you wanted to give them a go, you could use code GAS for 10% off at Control Freaks website. Link is in the description. Little promo there. But yeah, I've been using Control Freaks for the last like 5 or 6 years, and I can never go back. I absolutely love them, and it helps out my aim and movement in game. But that is the in detail of all of my settings on the controller. Now we're going to get into more of the stuff. If we keep going down here, I don't have any of this changed until we get the controller vibration. Controller vibration I have turned off. This is something that some people like to have some immersion in your game, but if you turn this off, it is going to make you more accurate in game. These are a bunch of things that you may not notice. They're very little, but they are changes that do help. Controller vibration I have off, trigger effect I have off, and then everything else down here I don't have touched. It is all default, whatever the default is. We're gonna go over here. You click R2 on the PlayStation controller. You can go over to gameplay side of things to see all of the gameplay setting. So first off, these things up here, I have not touched any of this at all until we get down to the automatic sprint. This is a big thing that a lot of people use, and also this is really good for your controllers, because you know when it comes to tactical sprinting, you have to press your L3 analog stick a lot more than usual than just a normal run on Call of Duty. And this is going to wear down your analog stick so much and so much quicker to where you're going to have to buy a new controller or get it fixed. This setting right here is an absolutely amazing setting, because when you turn on automatic tactical sprint, all you have to do is literally push the analog stick forward and it's going to run automatically. You don't even have to press it down. And this is going to allow your analog stick to last probably months longer than it would normally by pressing this down multiple times a day. Automatic tactical sprint is going to allow you to sprint at full speed just by pushing it forward, and that is a really good thing. There is one thing I want to note that that was a problem for me, and if you're going for the point blank challenges or the hip fire kills with any of the guns when you're going for gold camo, having this setting on can be a little irritating because it makes you stop shooting when you move forward because you automatically run. So if you're trying to go for point blanks or hip fires, make sure you turn this back on to normal running so you can do that a lot easier. Trust me, if you're going for gold, do that. But for everything else, have this setting on. And then the next thing that we go down to is the slide behavior. This is usually on hold. We put it on tap. This is going to help you ease into that movement, making it better, because holding it, you know, it just takes a little bit more time. You want to really get into that slide. If you get into these combos of sliding and jumping and you just find out these crazy movements that you do, slide behavior being on tap, all you gotta do is tap the button instead of hold it. It's gonna be quicker, and it's just absolutely beautiful setting to have on. So make sure you put that on. And we keep scrolling down. I was messing with this tap to reload and putting it like prioritize, interact, or reload, but it was kind of messing with me because I have this problem where I put the ammo box down and I try to grab it and I pick up someone's gun or something. And I was thinking if I could fix that, and I really couldn't find anything. I just had to be more focused on trying to pick that ammo up. I have died a couple of times where I pick up someone's gun instead of the ammo box. So we have that on tap to reload, which is usually the default. Next, if we go over to graphics, a big thing here is the field of view. What is the right field of view for you? And that is definitely a personal preference. I currently am on 105 field of view. I don't like the max one. I think it's too much. Obviously, some people love playing on 120. 105 is kind of in the middle. That's where I prefer. So if you want to try it out, definitely give it a go. Next, some other things that can help you focus on your game is turning off world motion blur and weapon motion blur. These are things that you really don't need on unless you want to have some immersion. If you're trying to get into it competitively, play as best as you can, turn these off. It's going to help out in game. And those are the main settings. Everything else doesn't really matter. The audio, interface, account network, that's all stuff that you can tweak and mess with if you want to. I have it all default, except for my music I have turned down because it is pretty loud in game. But if you guys have any questions on my settings, because it is a little in-depth and you might get a little confused or lost because of the remapping the controller thing, as long as you have remapping abilities on Xbox, you should be able to do the same thing and it should work out for you. And even on PC, if you can remap your controller and also use tactical. But if you have any questions at all, let me know down below and I will try to help you out to the best of my ability if you need it, or go back in the video to see what I did. But these are my settings I've been using for at least 5+ years and I will never go back. But with all that said, if you did enjoy my settings video and this does help you out and improve your gameplay, definitely make sure to drop a like on today's video, get it out there, let other people see this, because I really think these are amazing settings that could help you become better at the game without having to have a scuff or any crazy controller like that. Subscribe if you're new for more Vanguard content, lots of class setups coming your way to help you play better in game as well. Follow my social medias down below, know what I'm doing in my life. I'll see you guys in the next one.